You won't see this one coming. An impressive dish that's really easy to make. Hello. Today we're going with one of those express recipes that everyone always loves. Some gratin stuffed eggs. It's that simple, that easy, and that quick. I know there are many fillings, but I'll use the simplest and quickest one. And I think it's the one most people like. The first thing we do is boil some eggs. You know, hot water, put the eggs in, give them a little stir, and after 10 or 12 minutes, take them out. You peel them and cut them in half like this, slicing so that you have the yolk on one side and the white split in two on the other. To the yolks, we're going to add a small can of tuna. It can be in oil or natural, but make sure to drain all the liquid. Also, we're going to add 2 tablespoons or 2 packets of mayonnaise, however you call it. All right, once you have it ready to mash, use a fork to really work it until you get a more or less homogeneous paste. And with this paste, we're going to fill the egg white halves, just like that. We're going to use a small coffee spoon and start distributing it. First, I put a small spoonful in each one, and then I adjust with whatever is left over. That way, they always end up with more or less the same amount of filling. And then a little bit of grated cheese, in my case, mozzarella, which I think is the tastiest. But you can always use whichever one you prefer. I always like to use mozzarella, which I think is wonderful when baked. But you can use whatever cheese you prefer, or even better, a combination of several. Great, but I hope you give it a try and let me know in the comments which one you're going to use. And now time to bake it, that is, at least 200 degrees Celsius in the oven, which is about 395 Fahrenheit at the very least. And we place it on a high rack in the oven with heat coming from above. And once it's golden brown, take the cheese out and enjoy. There we have it, that simple, that quick, and that easy. And since they're freshly made, I'm going to use a spoon or some tongs to place them so I don't burn my fingers. And I'm going to put them on a little plate. Great for sharing. Just place it in the center and let everyone serve themselves. A very easy and attractive appetizer or tapa that you can even serve with some sauces. How do you plan to make it? Do you have any tricks in mind? I'm sure you do. Tell me in the comments. Look! What a dish you've prepared for me in just a moment. With that characteristic golden color from the gratin that always looks so appetizing and some incredible stuffed eggs underneath. Look. Do you feel like grabbing one? Honestly, I don't feel like eating them all myself. Look. Sometimes you get surprised and you might wonder, why is he saying that? Look? Well, because with simple ingredients and recipes that require hardly any work, you can make really delicious things. And while I'm at it, what's your signature recipe that everyone thinks takes more work than it actually does? Tell me about it so we can all learn together. I'll write down the ingredients and quantities for you here. You can take notes to make it easier to try at home. And look at the dish. Doesn't it look good? Click on it and enjoy it too.